My spouse and I like to travel Western expansion trails, navigating the web of trails and markers, legends, and stories that mark the westward movement of U.S.-controlled territory into the lands of Indigenous Americans. It is majestic and romantic, heartrending and tragic, all at the same time. We have stood in ruts as deep as I am tall, carved into the Wyoming rock by wagon wheel after wagon wheel. And we've hiked through Nevada desert to locate the remains of buildings that housed Pony Express stations and stagecoach stops. And we visited tribal centers and interpretive sites, learning the stories and sharing them, often with those not quite as interested as they pretend to appear. Probably because I've lived at both ends of it, Missouri and the Northwest, I'm partial to the Oregon Trail. Parts of this trail are as wide as the prairie and others as narrow as one wagon width. We've traveled it multiple times, yet even now, my first thought upon arriving at a stagecoach stop or ghost town is this: I would never have made it as a pioneer. I mean, really. Snakes, river crossings, cooking, hauling water, walking alongside a wagon for months covered in dust, crossing a mountain range only to discover another one in the distance. Thank God somebody went first, mapping the trails, building the roads, developing interstate. And though I would not have been an intrepid pioneer, I do care about the stories, to learn, to remember, and to tell. Ezra Meeker arrived in the Puyallup Valley in the 1840s, courtesy of the Oregon Trail. There he settled, farmed, and prospered. His house still stands, owned by the city, the Meeker Mansion. You tour it in second grade. You hear his story. You travel downtown to the park where this huge grapevine that was planted outside his first cabin still grows. In the 1920s, Ezra went on a mission to preserve the Oregon Trail. He organized the Oregon Trail Foundation to preserve those ruts and sites and markers and memories. He traveled the trail again late in his life to raise funds so people like me could learn, remember, and tell the stories. It's because of him and others that Ray and I are able to stop each time we spot a brown road sign or historical marker and read what happened on this spot. Who passed this way? What is their story? We learn, remember, and tell. In the same way, the writer of the letter to the Hebrews is rehearsing the journey of a people of faith, each step, each faithful person remembered. Starting at the beginning, the writer rehearses the story. By faith, Abel offered sacrifice to God. By faith, Noah built the ark. By faith, Abraham obeyed and set out to a new land. By faith, Moses led the people out of Egypt, and by faith, they crossed the Red Sea. The writer gets more excited as the stories of great ancestors are remembered. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell. By faith, Rahab the prostitute did not perish, for she acted in peace. And what more can I say? For time would fail me to tell of Gideon, Barak, Samson, Zephaniah, of David and Samuel and the prophets, who through faith conquered kingdoms, administered justice, obtained promises, and shut the mouths of lions, quenched the power of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, and were made strong out of weakness. Who for faith have been persecuted, imprisoned, wandered in deserts and mountains, in caves and holes in the ground. Yet, even these who have been commended, upheld, even these great heroes in faith, this great cloud of witnesses, cornerstones of family, tribe, and tongue, are but witnesses to Jesus Christ. And it is for his purposes the way of peace, restoration, and wholeness, that we learn their stories, remember their lives, and tell of their faith. The stories point to Jesus as the fulfillment of God's promise, God with us, embodied God, redeeming God, Jesus Christ, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. And it is in Jesus that our story takes shape. For Jesus went before us. Jesus blazed the trail to show us what God's will and God's way is all about. Jesus commissions disciples to bear witness of God's redemptive story, and we are the living signs, the markers, the story bearers. When we exercise our faith by sharing our joys and heartache, successes and mistakes, we are living the story. When we pick up kids, teach classes, make snacks, visit the sick neighbor, and pray for one another, we are living the story. When we step out in ministries of justice and compassion, we are living the story. And when we practice the hospitality of faith, inviting, welcoming, and nurturing others, we are living the story. When we exercise our faith, when we walk the way of Jesus, we are journeying on a well-traveled road with markers left by those gone before, great-grandparents, missionaries, beloved pastors or teachers. We are surrounded by those who came before and those yet to come. We see through their eyes of faith what has been, and we envision what can be. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and the sin that clings so closely. And let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith, who for the sake of the joy that was set before him endured the cross, disregarding its shame, and has taken his seat at the right hand of the throne of God. May we be found discovering new chapters of our story, remembering those who blazed our trails of faith, and living into the ministry and message of the peaceful one, Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith.